most of you already know me. I'm Nadine König, and I've been working for this project until the beginning of Terraboga since 2010. Aim of our project, the main aim is certainly to close the material cycle. So now let's start with the composting side. As I told you, we have a lot of different materials, like a huge amount of woody material that we actually haven't completely used in the past. And now we're trying to use it for, on the one hand, for composting, especially the green waste is used for composting, and the woody material we are planning to use for pyrolysis and make our own charcoal, which we now unfortunately have to buy. Yes, and you can see here there are several test heaps which we started in around 3 months ago. And we're testing different amounts of charcoal, different mixtures of material, input materials, and we're also experimenting now with different amounts of urine.
May I present?
Ich muss mir die mal kennzeichnen. Das ist eigentlich.
Okay.
Experimental garden, the Terraboga garden, where we apply our produced biochar substrates. And what we could see was that the normal compost with charcoal had the best results, and then the normal compost without charcoal followed by the fermented. So, but it's really different from culture to culture.
There's so many parameters.
Yes,
as well.
and the thing is, you have to keep in mind that the charcoal has a very high pH value, and not every plant species really likes this. But what you can see, it really has a positive effect on the structure of the soil, because it makes it more fluffy, and so water can run through. And well, it's not only the biochar. You also have you always have to keep in mind the whole process. Like it's very important to work in an organic kind of way, that you have to work with mulching, and then you can activate the organisms in the soil, of course. Or if the aim might be to run it in a cycle, we are able to close the material cycle in the botanical garden by purely making our own good quality compost. No matter if we mix biochar in it or not.
It's maybe even energy efficient.
But of course, mixing biochar into the soil is a good solution for climate reason, for example, because it has a long persistence in the soil. It doesn't rot like normal compost does. Or it stays in the soil for hundreds of years. What we really don't know yet, but probably it does, because it does in the original terra preta. And that would be a good solution for carbon sequestration. Yeah.
Perfect festival and natural park toilet.
No,
Very
if you have enough, if enough
Because
biochar.
usually they stink like hell.
But it
Nobody
must be
likes to
dry.
go there. Dry toilet and next to it compost place, and so there's a service.
Which operates that?
Yes, it's perfect because it's like there are many boats, so you can anchor, and of course they don't like you don't want to make your business in the water because you want to swim there and so on. So then And also your kitchen waste you can put in this compost. So it's very, very good.
And this is installed in the restrooms of the women. And why the water is it only use 3.5 liter. There is a difference in the flashing. Normally you have only one pipe in the middle, it's much thicker. But here you see most of the water will go on the right hand side, on the left hand side, and it will come together on the middle, and then the feces will swim out of the system. So
4 toilets, water-saving toilets from Villeroy and Boch. They are not separating urine and feces. They are normal flushing toilets using 3 to 4 liters per flushing. And all the black water that comes from the toilets run into this, it's a so-called separator. You can see this metal thing, this is the separator, usually used as a fat separator for larger canteen kitchens. And here the solid material is separated from the liquid and is separated into this blue barrel.
And the transport is much cheaper because you don't need trucks to transport so much liquid and water because you just have the solid separated.
So this is a siphon. This is a rubber, and I'll show it in the wash basin. Das ist der Traps.
Okay, das ist der Ersatztraps, ja.
It
Very
costs 6
simple. €6, and I just said in developing countries they use, for example, condoms. So you have that plastic pipe and they just put a condom over it and cut it, and has the same function. So you have
Der Urinstein,
can also improvise with.
Now this is the box where the urine is collected from the waterless urinals you just saw. And inside there is a plastic inliner, and which has a volume, I think, of 200 liters. And at the moment we have to change it for at least, it lasts for around 4 days.
Aber ich meine, Südamerika ist auch mal noch, oder nicht? Wahrscheinlich. Ja.